Hello everybody, Planet Walls here. We are back for the first round of 2013 Classic Core Qualifier Tournament 2 something. Doodly-doo. Okay, so I am playing what's been deemed red-green by myself. Red-green splash black Lumberamp. Hang on one second. Just recording my intro. Looks like our opponent is ready. Our opponent is named Kea. I believe he is one of the Freed from the Real guys on pure Mtgo, and he is... I've never played him before in Classic League, so I don't know if he's new to it, or I just have seen him on different names before, I'm not sure. But he is playing a pretty standard affinity build, and this, I believe, is the best deck in the format, at least one of two, or maybe three, but I think one of the two best decks. You're probably familiar with what this is doing. It's got two Gaia's Cradles. Its one-drop slot is Mana Ramp, Skull Clamps, and Signal Pests, which are actually pretty scary. Two-drop slot is all scary and includes Steel Overseer's Revokers, which hurt me depending on what he names. Genesis Chambers, which are nuts and are one of the most problematic cards, and I would counter them if I ever could. And Arcbound Ravagers. Tangle Wire is an incredibly disruptive element. Memory Jar refills his hand and makes me lose the game, essentially. Frogmites come out there and complement all these small things, come out quickly. Lodestone Golems disrupt my spells. So he's also got these Memnites down here. They come out quickly. Wastelands, full set, Strip Mine. Workshops power this deck. Ancient Tombs deal damage to him. He's got one Factory that can push through some extra damage. And a Tolarian Academy, which ruins my day. So this is a hard matchup, not going to lie. I have not tested my deck thoroughly. You can watch the deck list video. I would highly recommend it for me to explain why I did what I did. But I think this is a tough matchup, even though it's an important matchup to win. I think I have a chance, depending on what I draw. I think I can lock down the game with those Wasps, the Corrosion, whatever they are, the bad Trigon Predator, or with Hammer Mage. And I've got two Seeds of Innocence to blow up all the artifacts on the board. So hopefully I can hit those. His Graft Digger's Cages, if he decides to board them in, can problematize my Summoning Traps, but I think I'm actually going to be boarding those out. So his Caracas is actually pretty good against me because it deals with Kazol, which is excellent against him, since he's attacking with so many guys, especially Genesis Chamber dudes. And Caracas can deal with Kazol pretty easily. Dismembers will probably come in, and I imagine Metamorphs come in, because I have a lot of scary dudes that he can sort of remake. He probably does not bring in Thorns, because my creature count is so high compared to my non-creatures. I have very few non-creatures, though some of them are Seeds of Innocence, which kills all artifacts, so maybe he could do that. My guess is he brings in the following cards. Caracas, Metamorphs, Dismembers. I don't think he brings in Witchbane Orb, no reason to. He probably cuts like a Frogmite, and maybe he brings out a Genesis Chamber if I'm lucky, because I've got so many small dudes. He might cut a Factory or something, and not sure. Otherwise, maybe a Memnite, maybe a Mox Opal to bring in two more lands, etc. That's going to be a scary setup for me, and I think we do well to win game one and be on the play. So I will see you in the match. All right, and we are off. So I did win the roll, and I would like to play first. This hand is interesting. The Summoning Trap is bad, but we can quickly land a Deathrite and a Jack. So I'm trying to figure out what to do in the first turn. I think what I actually do is I play Cavern, naming Orc, which sounds silly, but then I don't have to worry about anything horrible, and I can play a turn 2 Colonian Hydra, which I think might be able to get the job done by itself. So we're not going to mulligan this. This is going to be interesting. We get to watch if this deck actually works. It would even be more ideal if he mulliganed, but I'm pretty confident in this hand, and I don't need him to sacrifice any ability to play here. So, in other words, I'm feeling rather confident. His first turn could be insane, though. That's always true with Affinity. So it's possible he's got a potentially crazy hand, but needs maybe one more land or something, and that's why he's asking whether to keep this. That's probably the most dangerous situation for me. If he has a decent but not explosive hand, I think I'd probably have this game. So just to review, Cavern of Souls comes down, it names Orc, and then I play an Orcish Lumberjack. If he doesn't kill that Cavern of Souls, that means that the following turn I find probably a basic forest, snow-covered forest, whatever. And with that snow-covered forest, I tap it and produce 5 mana and play this Hydra out. So let's see how that works. Now I just have to not screw this up. I mean, mechanically. All right. So that's a pretty unimpressive turn in the general scheme of things, from his perspective, hopefully. But I don't know. Maybe he doesn't know what's going to happen to him. I hope he doesn't. He could play a turn 1 Lodestone Golem, and that would kind of ruin my plan, so anything's possible. He's probably considering the order in which to play spells. Maybe checking out my deck list at the same time. Classic League is interesting because it has a different dynamic in which you can see your opponent's cards. In some ways, this makes it less fun, but in some ways, you can play different things than you normally would. Cabal Therapy becomes obscenely powerful. Any spell like Duress even becomes powerful because you know what you could hit. There is Genesis Chamber. That is one of the scariest cards you could play. And we have a Pest. Okay, so he's making little guys, a lot of little guys. He might have to keep them back next turn. And we just drew a forest, so I think I'm just going to run that out there and keep the foothills for later. Let's make sure we do this right. I am in my main phase. I'm just really nervous. Sacrifice a forest, add a ton of green. Yep. All right. So that worked. If I were him, I'd be reading that card because I wouldn't know what it did. Oh, God. So this potentially puts us in a difficult position, but we are going to be attacking with an 8-8. Nope, we're not going to be attacking with an 8-8 because it looks like Tangle Wire is going to be tapping our crap down. That sucks. So we could lose this game to the wire, which is very unfortunate. All right. All these things get tapped. We have no way of avoiding that. I guess I could have played a different way. I could have gone... Let me think about this, because I could find a Taiga. And if I find a Taiga, what happens is... He's definitely got enough to kill a Colonian Hydra now, which is no good. If I find a Taiga, I could potentially use it during my upkeep to not do anything. So I think that that's wrong. So I'm going to play the Mountain and the next Lumberjack. Oh god, I can't. Okay, that's right, because he played a Whatsits. Okay, so that's no good. If he plays another Tangle Wire, I think we just lose. Academy is insane, obviously. So it turned out his start was pretty nuts. But if he attacks with a lot of stuff this turn... Yeah, I think he has to keep 8 back to... No, he's just going crazy because he's got double Signal Pest. I might just die right here. Yeah, I died. Wow. So I guess he just, like, God drew me because I think I was in a pretty good position. That Tangle Wire blew me out. Alright, so I'm kind of disappointed, honestly, but such is life. We will not be bringing in these things. We'll not be bringing in these. This might come in. This might come in. This does. Okay, so Zealous Conscripts is iffy. I think Aladdin has to come in. Thunderscape sucks. Flame Tongue is probably playable. I think this is on the expensive side. We're going to probably board out the Summoning Traps. Let's see. Like, I think I just want to load up the board with dudes. This isn't that strong, truth be told, but it does something. Molder Slug, like I've said, isn't the best card in the world. Like, I think that something might be better than Rurik Thar. Maybe Thunderscape is just because it's cheap, but I don't think so. I would rather bring in a dragon, for sure. I think that seems right to me. So what turn did he kill me on his turn 2? No, it would have been his turn 3, because turn 2 he dropped the Tangle Wire, which is what wrecked me. Too bad. Looks like he's still thinking. Like, as long as something can block and kill a Lodestone Golem, I feel pretty good. How is this hand? This has a Seeds of Innocence. That could be too slow. This has no ramp in it. But it has a spell that kills all artifacts. So, if he Tangle Wires me again, I think it's really hard to get out of this. The Ooze might buy me some time, though. Huh. This is tough for me to figure out, because we got 9 ramp spells, so I could probably mull into something, but I have one of the more powerful artifact removal spells. I'm not going to mulligan this, but that could be a mistake. I might crack this fetch very early in the game in an attempt to... actually, we might drop the Bayou, because I kind of want him to kill, to like strip one of my lands. Nah, we're gonna drop this. And I still do want to draw a mana guy. I would have no problem doing that. Okay, so he's got another extremely explosive start. What we don't want to see are Lodestone Golems. There's a Lodestone Golem. Alright. So you got double Foothill. The reason I didn't pop it, I actually did that on purpose, was because I want to make sure that I don't get stripped. As long as he doesn't play another Lodestone Golem, I think we're okay for a little bit. He played another Lodestone Golem. Okay, so that's really horrible. I think we probably lose. Yep. So we're going to be taking...
Sorry.
Watch out, I'm recording, Becky. So we can't crack these because of the Wasteland, so it was smart to keep them uncracked. Oh my god. We are not going to get a chance to cast this. We actually die this turn. Yeah, we just lost the game. That's really unfortunate. So we'll name... What should we name? Probably Shaman. But, yeah, his explosive Wasteland, we're done. He attacks us here for exactly 13 and we lose. So that's a real bummer first round. I actually felt kind of confident, not with this hand as much, but I felt like this was a playable hand. We got walloped. Yeah, here we go. Bam! And these Wooded Foothills, they would have been pretty bad. Alright, so thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully next time it won't be like an absolute slaughter. We will see you for round 2.